Leo ninafikiria nchi nzuri. Sing. Leo ninafikiria nchi nzuri ninayotaka kuiona. Nisimamapo karibu na Mwokozi, tajini zitakuwa nyota. Sijui tajini mwangu kama nyota, zitang'aa kila wakati. Nitakapoamka katika majumba, zitakuwa nyota tajini. Kwa nguvu za Bwana nitafanya kazi, nitavuta roho za watu, ili niwe na nyota katika taji. Bwana anapotupa tunu, sijui tajini mwangu kama nyota, zitang'aa kila wakati. Zitakapoamka katika majumba, zitakuwa nyota tajini. Nitakuwa na furaha nikimwona, kuweka miguuni pake. Watu waliovutwa kwa ajili ya kazi yangu na roho yake, sijui tajini mwangu kama nyota, zitang'aa kila wakati. Nitakapoamka katika majumba, zitakuwa nyota tajini. Nipe habari za Yesu. Sing. Nipe habari za Yesu, kwangu ni tamu sana. Kisa chake cha thamani hunipendeza sana. Walivyoimba sifa, alipoleta amani kwa watu wa dunia. Kisa cha alivyofunga peke yake jangwani, jinsi alivyolishinda jaribu la shetani. Kazi aliyoifanya na siku za huzuni, jinsi walivyomtesa, yote ni ya ajabu. Nipe habari za Yesu, kaza moyoni mwangu. Kisa chake cha thamani hunipendeza sana. Umwendo gani nyumbani, mlinzi kuisha. Usihuzunike, kazi ifanye kwa moyo. Tumeahidiwa tuishapo shinda. Sio mbali na nyumbani, fikara mji na tupozara lafuta machozi. Usihuzunike, kitambo tutakutana wenye furaha kamili nyumbani mwa Baba. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for your guidance, Almighty Father. As young adults, we've gathered here this Sunday morning, afternoon, Almighty Father. We ask you that as we are going to hear from our special guests, oh Lord, Almighty Father, may you be with us as we learn about entrepreneurship, Almighty Father. And everything that we do for the rest of the day, I put them unto your able hands. May you be with us, guide us and protect us, for it is my humble prayer, believing and trusting in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Roho Mtakatifu, Roho Mtakatifu, kiongozi amini, utushike mkono Amen.
How many together with me we welcome the speaker?
To celebrate together with the Israelites together, because during we can say during the ancient days, it was a tradition that as much as you've been invaded by leprosy, you couldn't have been given the chance to intermingle with others. So here comes a case whereby they say that however much it may seem to be hectic, but we will take a step of faith to go to the other camp so that we may see if we may get an aid. Most probably, likewise to our situation today, I symbolize it, or I may put it in the same scenario with these 4 leprous men, whereby they were stagnant. They did not have the opportunity to go to the camp. And likewise to us, at times we've not been given the opportunity of, or some of us have no opportunity to indulge themselves in entrepreneurship, you know. So this is the time. And when you read verse 5, it's talking about, it says that they rose up early in the morning, or they rose up at twilight to go to the camp of Syrians. And when they had come to the outskirts of the Syrian camp, to their surprise, no one was there. hii inatuambia kwamba in every success we have to determine to have the spirit of determination accompanied with endurance, and also self is very important. Success is concerned.
Hello guys, good afternoon again. Okay, I'll just talk about little about entrepreneurship. I guess all of you are ready. For me, I always like the concept of innovative entrepreneurship because mostly that is the most oriented thing that I always do in life. Apart from being working in the UN, I have a lot of business that I've started. I've created business for people. I've written policy papers for county governments, people, organizations. So I always have passion in entrepreneurship. And before even we start talking about these concepts, we have two different things. I hope when I'm standing here is fine, or I should stand here. Okay, when you talk about two different things, just to start, we have a business person and entrepreneurship. Those are two different things that is always being confused. When you talk about business person, that is a person who does business from an original ideas, meaning the ideas are not fresh or clean. But when you talk about entrepreneurship, this is a person who creates a new business from new ideas, from fresh ideas, building something up, a model of business from a new ideas. So those are two different things, a business person and an entrepreneurship. Then we have a innovative entrepreneurship. And before we even talk about innovative entrepreneurship, we always call about the passion business. When I want to start a business, I cannot just walk one day and say, I want to start a business. I must have a passion in the line of the product that I want to offer in the market. That is the more core ingredient of starting a business. For example, I want to start a business. I cannot say that Peter is a friend of mine. Peter sells smoky. So tomorrow I say, because Peter sells smoky, now I must start selling smoking. That is a wrong trajectory. You get it? So we have to define ourselves and determine, hi, as Robert, what passion do I have? If this passion I have, how can I translate my passion into business that can be useful to me and also other people? So one important core ingredient of business is determining the passion. And we try to relate how that passion, we can put it into business, then it can generate income. Then we have a niche. When you want to start a business and entrepreneurship is all about solving a problem. For example, in your, this place is like Isama. Maybe there's a problem somewhere. So as an entrepreneurship, you have to determine the niche. You put your eyes in that niche. This is a place. For example, let's talk about garbage collection. This is like Isama. Maybe garbage collection, maybe security is an issue. So you determine, now this in my area, we have a gap somewhere in the market. So if this gap, for example, I want to use a practical example, these are a garbage collection. So how are we going to solve this garbage collection issue, which is a gap? It is a problem. And the most important thing of entrepreneurship is solving a problem. You are creating a business to solve a problem to help other people before generating the income. Because that problem that you are trying to solve is what is going to generate the income. People will pay you for solving their problem. And that is what we always talk about, innovative entrepreneurship. Okay, together. Majorly, I always have a passion about innovative entrepreneurship because that is always the major role that I always play. So after determining the niche, now you have determined this is the problem. Now you are going to say, now how am I going to solve this problem? I've determined the problem. Which kind of problem have I determined? Now, after determining the problem, now you go to about strategies. You want to strategize how the business is going to operate because you have determined the problem. You have determined, put your eyes in the niche, the gap in the market. Because business is not for everyone. And you cannot just do any other business. You have to determine that if that your business is going to solve the problem, if that your business is strategies enough to be able to give you what you want at the end of the day. In business, we don't do guns. You have to have specialized line in whatever that you want to do. That is a very vital. It's so vital in terms of business. For me, I have business that I do. I've created business for people. I don't know if there's someone who is having a business. Because when you want to talk about business, you must be somewhere. You must have started somewhere. You must be having something going around. So let me just ask by hand of show, how many of us have started business? Okay, which line? Sir? Yeah? Photography? Yes, sir. Good, sir. I didn't get you. Outfits. Cloth line. Okay, fine. I can see some things. You? Yeah. You saying? I was selling. You are in the fashion industry. Let's just put it fashion industry. Yes, Puliko. Someone was carrying his food stuff. Okay. Abuse? Agribusiness. So you are doing agribusiness. So I just want to use the concept of it. That is called the fashion. Let's just use the fashion industry as a concept of what you are going to learn using my time. Remind me your name, please. Okay, I will use, you have many names, but I use Benson, it's much easier. So Benson has a business line in clothing industry. And before we go far in business, I always like to talk about reality of business. We are not going to lie about each other when you talk about entrepreneurship. In reality of business, there's always long hours of working. You have to chase customers. And you have to establish yourself in a ruthless, competitive market. This market is ruthless and competitive. Then also we have punitive taxation. They're together. So we are not going to lie because each of you are trying to establish yourself as an entrepreneurship. The market is so ruthless in terms of competition. For example, Bensol works in clothing industry. I walk a few meters from now, you'll say Sarah, who is also working in a clothing industry. So the main concept here is what uniqueness about the products that Benson has and what uniqueness of business that Sarah has that will make a customer or a client distinguish between the two. Are you trying to get where I'm coming from? So basically it's about the uniqueness because the products in the market will always be the same. But the thing is the ruthless in the competitive nature of a market. The uniqueness selling point of a different businesses will determine the one which is thriving in this compact business sphere. So we're getting back again to Benson line of business. So Benson is a business person dealing in a line of clothing industry in Lakisamo. I'm going to use two concepts about the Sarah again. Sarah again is a business person, entrepreneur, who is, I'm going to use entrepreneur, I am a business person. You'll forgive me for using entrepreneur business person because this is an original business idea, right, together, and compared to entrepreneurship where you start a business from out of new idea. I don't know you get the difference. When I started, I said, we have business person and entrepreneurship. And I said, business person deals with kind of business model from an original sources of idea. Then I said, entrepreneurship start a business from fresh and new ideas. So as teachers, do you understand the meaning, the difference between a business person and entrepreneurship? Yeah? Do you get it? Yeah? A business person deals with an original, meaning this idea, there was someone who once come up with it, right, together. But entrepreneur is start a business from fresh ideas, right, together. So when I say Benson is a business person and Sarah is a business person, there's the reason why I want to explain. Because this idea is from a different source, right, together. This is not a fresh idea. This is not a fresh idea, right, together. Yes, he started a business, but this business is already in the market. Also must look that like that be business. For that business to prosper, those are very important things. Which is one, it is passion. Two is the uniqueness, selling point. Three is visibility. And four is attitude. Right, together. Like I said, in business, the perfect reality is you are going to work for long hours. Because business is not going to start today, tomorrow you will be ranking millions, right, together. It will need a lot of dedication, time, a lot of sacrifices for it to grasp up, for it to be sustainable enough, right, together. Because business needs patience. Business is not going to be something that you are going to start today, then tomorrow now you are ranking millions, right, together. You will fail, you will make losses. But with determination, there's always hope. For me, I always believe in hope. And I always believe there's always a chance to make things better in terms of business. Because today, customers will come. Tomorrow, customers will not come. Then on the third day, you say, no, I'm tired. Now I'm stopping. This thing is not for me. At that juncture, we say you are not passionate about the line of business that you started. For an entrepreneurship, when you get into business, you must first have that passion. You must first determine, this is an inbuilt passion. I'm not going to force tissues in this business. I'm starting together. Now, you have determined the niche. That is done. You've said, there's a problem, we are going to solve it. Now, for example, Benson has said, in Lakisama, there are not people who are selling clothes. Now, I've determined the niche, which I'm going to solve to provide these people with the clothes. We have determined the niche. Again, we have moved to a uniqueness of selling point of a business because there is a competitiveness. And all of us want to thrive and establish yourself in this compact, ruthless business sphere. Because, for example, you'll find Benson selling the same clothes with Sarah. Sarah selling a cloth at 500 shillings. Benson want to sell at 1,000 shillings. People will go to Sarah because of the price, right, together. The next day, Benson closes, right, together. So as a Benson, I have to explain to the customer why his price is 1,000 shillings while Sarah's price is 500 shillings, right, together. Because that one is a very important thing. And that one is always considered with the uniqueness of the business that you offer. And this concept I will talk about when you talk about branding. All of us have gone to KFC, right, together. They sell chicken. Yeah? In this local also they sell chicken. No, chicken. Ujaona kuku huku? Hizi kuku choma hujaiona huku? Huh? They are the same, right? That is what I'm coming from. So these things are all the same. Why do you buy it expensive at KFC? Yeah? Okay, now let's be honest to ourselves. Huh? You always buy it, in local you buy it as 100 shilling, 150, right? When you go to KFC, how much do you buy it? Have you ever asked yourself why? As a layman thinking. Yeah? Have you ever asked yourself why? Okay, can you ask yourself why now? Yes. No, in business, we don't say as Africans. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
We relate price and quality. So, nikisikia hiyo ya KFC is 750. I go for that one kushinda hii ya street ambayo ni naweza pata na 20 bob, 50 bob.
Okay, let's not fault. Now, he has spoken like a layman, yeah? I want someone to speak in terms of business. Yeah, engagement. Yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
I do believe when we buy from KFC, we are buying from a brand. It's established, and for that matter, when they hike their price or when the price is high, we wouldn't complain or so, because we identify it as a brand, and also they have, we would say, a specialty within their cuisines. So I think that's where.
Thank you so much. So the most important thing we are talking about is branding in business. Together, branding is so building the brand, and building the brand is a consistent thing. In they'll say this business has helped me, is good. So let's give a recommendation to someone. Together. So branding is always based on how, as a client, how am I satisfied with your business that you are offering me. Together. Have you done what I want? Have I paid for the value that you are giving me? Because all of us always want the value, and that is where the most business fail. Maybe I'm charging you high, but I'm not offering you the quality value equivalent to your money. Together. And that is also a juncture. Unaenda kwa kununua chapati, chapati ni ndogo na si tamu. But you will not have a problem when you buy a small chapati which is sweet. Together. So the satisfaction of a client also matters. You'll say, misi kupenda. Together, I paid a lot of money. You always say, but the services was not quantified. Deal finish with this. I hope you have understood what I've said. When I started, I said passion. I talk about the niche. I talk about the uniqueness, selling point of a business. Together. I talked about visibility of the business. Then the last one I talked about, someone? The last one I talked about, the one we have just breeding at the brand. Together, the breeding about the brand. So mostly I've talked about those important ingredients of entrepreneurship. But guys, friends, the most important business, if you want a business to pay you, try to think in a line of solving problem. Together, solving problem. If it is a service, let it be a service that solves problem. People will pay you. People will pay you to solve their problem. Together. When I was in campus, sometimes you are so hectic. Maybe you are given a project, it's so bad. We used to pay people to help us do that project, to give that insight. Together. Meaning that people were solving as a problem. Together. We pay them. Together. We pay the Uber to solve us the problem of moving. Together. Look, navigating from one point to the other. Together. We pay Glove to bring us services where we want. Meaning the Glove have solved that problem. They have bridged that problem. Together. You can come with a concept that is going to solve a problem in your area. People will pay you for that particular problem. Together. Using technology. So you integrate with the technology to able to reach a large number of people together. For example, maybe in your area, you have maybe insecurity, maybe a garbage collection, maybe other things. How can you integrate that in terms of technology? You determine that this is now the business, the gap in the market, this is the problem. I want to solve this problem. For example, you are called Ken. You're saying, Ken, I'm called Ken. I've said in my area, there is a given problem. I've determined that problem. Now, am I going to solve that problem? Using technology. And we are in an era that doing business has become much easier compared to some time back because we have the platforms. Nowadays, everyone is in social media. If not TikTok, if not Instagram, if not together. So business has become easier. Easier in the sense that we can reach large audience and compare to some times back. Together. Not easier that we can live our dream now. In business, we don't live our dream now. We live our dream consistently. Together. Based on the input that we put in our business. If you put quantitative input in a well-specialized and strategized way, you will get the output that will define the energy that you put in your business. Together. We are not going to lie. There's always a very good meme that always trends that somebody was selling Macs yesterday, now he has a Pro Box. Together. So that is a meme. But when you quantified, that is not a consistent kind of business. Together. Business, we live our dream consistently. Together. We started this, we put strategy, we specialize in the product, we build our brand, then the next day, we can able to get a profit out of our hard work that we have put, determination in the kind of business line that we are dealing with. Together. So as far we have talked about 7 things. 7 things, right? Just let us remind ourselves as we are concluding. We have talked about passion. When you start a business, please consider your passion. Because business is going to bore you. Together. You'll start a business of selling maca. People will not come. You will get bored. Together. You'll start a business, you want to start an IT consultancy. You don't have passion. Clients will not come. You don't know how to navigate about that field. You will get pulled out. Client will not come. Together. You want to start a pharmaceutical. You are not there. Together. You want to start an accounting agency. You don't know anything. You will get bored. You want to start an auditing firm. You don't know knowledge about that particular industry. It will not work out. We always like people, always advise people, and everyone will always advise you to start a business that you have passion, that you understand in and out. And that you can represent the profit, you can represent the income that you inject and also the income that come out of it. Together. You must determine the liability and the profit of that business. Together. You have to account for it. Business need accountability. And that's where many people fail. Together. Maybe you start a business, you have made let's say you have started a business, you have injected like 300,000. The next day, you have made a profit of 20,000. Together. You fail to account for the profit that you have made and also the money that you are supposed to inject back to the business. Together. We always save the profits. We always save the profit. But the money that we use, we return it back to the business. But here you forgot to retain the money that you are supposed to retain the business. You squander the profit. You squander the other one. Together. That will be a liability to your business. Together. Meaning there's no representation between the injection and the output. Together. Because you have squandered everything. So in every other business to work, there will always be a balance. Together. For example, you go to the market. I just use a Mamamboga concept. Mamboga has 2,000 shillings. She goes to the market, buys the product of 1,500. Let's say 2,000. She comes back, sells, gets a profit of 1,000 shillings. Together. 1,000 shillings, meaning there's a retainer of 2,000 shillings in the business. Together. That is a purchasing marked price of that particular business. So in this profit, which is 1,000, she can decide, now this profit, I can increase the stock or I can retain it into savings. Together. So what if Mamamboga decides to squander the 2,000? Together, meaning the business will have a liability. Together. So there always must be the balance between the injection and the output. Together. The turnover is the retainer plus the profit. So you must never forget about the retainer. And that is what always makes a lot of business to collapse. Together. For example, I buy something around 100,000. I made a profit of 50,000. Together. I forget that this 100,000 was for the business. Together. I assume that I've made a profit of 150,000, which is wrong. So there's a temptation for me squandering this 150,000, forgetting the 50,000, which was the profit. Together. So in any other business, the development of business is always being developed with profits together while retaining the market price, the purchasing market price of any particular business. So you can develop yourself. You can say 50% of my profits goes to saving together. Then 20% goes to these particular things and the rest ones. Then another thing in business. Another piece in business, remove stunts. Together, stunts are necessary. Stunts. Business needs a lot of dedication, determination. Stunts has always collapsed a lot of business. I don't know how you understand. I don't know in your layman's how you determine the meaning of stunts. How do you understand stunts? Anybody? Yeah? Stunts. Yeah? Yes. Okay, somebody stance. It's just the way I'm just saying it, yeah.
I think stand is you want to do business in your own context, not in the client's context.
Good. So, in any other business, the clients rule the world. Right together. Beyond they have limitations, but they rule the world. Right together. You as an entrepreneurship, you're solving the problem of this particular client. Right together. You cannot say you cannot be the kingmaker in a business. Right together. They make the king, they make the decisions, you solve you harmonize. You harmonize the decision in terms of problem solving. Right together.
Okay, I was saying, sijui kama branding is really the main point, juu kuna other branded chicken. So the thing I think yenye ni kubwa hapa ni the taste, in the uniqueness in the taste, na your quality, na the extra ingredients zenye iko. Juu kama ukiangalia hadi kwa hizi brands za biscuits, unaweza pata Manji wanatengeneza the normal biscuit tunapata ni cheap, and then wako na biscuit ya the same grams but iko na cream unapata like ni more expensive. So the thing yenye memeki biscuit ya cream iko more expensive, si ati ni branding, ni juu iko na cream. So like ni hiyo the unique thing yenye iko ndani. So I think hapo ndo nataka kujua.
Okay, so
alafu
yeah, okay.
Hapo mali ulikuwa na to explain the meaning of business na the meaning of entrepreneurship. Ulisema like business. I hope unaelewa Swahili.
Yeah, speak. Talk about business person and entrepreneur.
Do you understand Swahili?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay, so you said a business is from an original idea.
Business person, not business.
Yeah, business person, a person who starts business from an original idea, sindio? And then entrepreneur said from a new idea. So what's the difference between original and new? I think the ile ungesema maybe existing, the business.
I will explain to you.
Okay.
Okay, you're done. Thank you for the question. Okay, literally when you talk about brand, we are not talking about branded. The explanation I was trying to explain was a brand, not a branded commodity. That is what I say. I'm not talking about the branding on the wall. I was talking about the brand together, which is mostly always facilitated by the satisfaction of the clients and together. A satisfaction of the client and also the other spices of the business, not literally the branding together. The branding is always just to increase the flavor of the business that you have. It's like an auxiliary service that is offered to a client, like an after-sale service together. So it's a brand, not branded. Yeah. Then when I come to about the question of business person and entrepreneurship, and I want you to understand this one keenly. Yeah? When you are entrepreneur together, you start a business. From original idea, which is unique in the market together. Or you start a business which is existing but as implementation together. It has been implemented into stages which make it different in the market. Right, together. We can be selling the same clothes. Right, together. But my clothes are redesigned. Right, together. My clothes are redesigned. It makes it so unique in the market compared to other businesses. In other terms, this business, there is an idea which has been injected, which is different with the other ones. Right, together. So the sense of entrepreneurship, you are injecting a new idea which is non-existent, which is going to solve the problem. And the problem doesn't mean shida. It can be taste, preference, and everything. Right, together. When you talk about problem in a business, haimaanishi shida. Right, together. It can mean a problem of taste, a problem of preference. Right, together. So those are the difference. Right, together. But when you talk about a business person, and that was I was saying, sorry to say this, Benson. Yeah? Benson is a business person. Right, together. Benson is not an entrepreneur. Right, together. Until that moment that Benson will inject new ideas into the business to make it different, that a juncture will call Benson an entrepreneur. I don't know if you get the difference. Yeah? So for example, Benson, that's the cloth line of Benson, right, together. Maybe Benson decide to bring other design of the cloth, right, together, which is different with the one which is manufactured, right, together. Because this is idea of someone somewhere, right, together. So that is our entrepreneurship. Benson is a business. Are we together? My dear sister, have you understood? Okay, fine. Yes, Benson.
Once again, I'm Benson Christopher Kelo. I thank you so much for this opportunity. Now, I just want to get this difference. You mentioned about entrepreneurship and, of course, innovative entrepreneur. Okay. I thank you. You've talked about entrepreneurship, and you've also mentioned about the innovative entrepreneurship. And there's one thing in common coming out is about problem solving, because now you see, I just want to know the gist. Where is now the difference coming from? How can we separate these two between an entrepreneur and basically an innovative entrepreneur? Because at the end of the day, of course, you have to earn something from these two. So where is the difference coming from? Because even as a businessman, you can as well become an innovative entrepreneurship. So I just want to know how we can connect about this.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Benson. What I'm trying to I want you to understand this point again. No? Entrepreneurship meaning coming with new, fresh ideas, right, together. You are in business, right, together. But you can quantify your business by coming with something which is unique in the business, right, together. I want to give you a very different concept using what Mr. Tai does. He does in tours and travels. I do consultants in that, right, together. But he does what we refer to as adventure and the other one is called? And fitness. Together, you will find most of the tour in the industry, they don't do fitness. Together. So meaning that is a different idea which is non-existent in the market. Have you understood that concept? Together. So meaning you come with a different hidden idea that others are not doing. Together. So when you inject that in your business, it becomes different with what others are doing. So it becomes unique. Together. For example, maybe you are selling shoes. Let's use Air Force. You are selling Air Force. Everyone sells Air Force, right? Together. So maybe you can come with idea. Now yours, you do it rebranding. You put different colors to suit the age bracket that youths prefer together. Because youths prefer a lot of fashion, right, together. You can come with a way, you change the shoelaces with different colors. You do it branding, right, together. That will be a different selling point. That will be a different uniqueness in terms of your business. That is an innovative idea. When you talk about innovative, we don't mean it is a social media. It is a unique idea, different idea, which nobody is doing. Meaning you are so innovative, ukakuja na idea ingine that nobody is using, right, together. For example, maybe if it's possible, maybe if you are so innovative enough, tunaweza tumia mic which is wireless. Or wireless, right, together. Kitambo tulikuwa tunatumia the mic which has, but nowadays you are using this one, right, together. So this was innovative, right, together. Idea which someone was thinking. So meaning this is idea of someone, right, together. Maybe as we can come with a new idea, now it is so small, but it still can operate, cooperate together. We always have mics which are small, yes, together. So this was a generation of new ideas for the specific one. Together. Have you understood? Yes, someone. Before I sit down. Yes. If you have a question, ask. Your business is business too. Yes.
Mine is not a question. It's all about my understanding of what you've said is, let's say, for example, the cloth line of Benson that is over there. That's an idea of someone to come up with maybe that polo t-shirt. So for Benson to be an entrepreneur, anaweza amua chukue kitenge, so on the side, ashone, si ndio? So meaning that one will be, now he'll be an entrepreneur, right? Because he has come with a different idea, though selling the same thing, but now it's different because it's a polo t-shirt. Hiyo ndo ulikuwa unasema now the difference between entrepreneur and a business person. So here itatoa Benson from the business person into entrepreneur, but for now he's a business person. Yes.
Yeah, you are trying to make sense. You are trying to make sense, but on your concept, you must work on something which is in line with the taste and preference of the clients. Don't forget the targeted market. Together, you cannot just start a new business without a market, because you are solving a problem to a given targeted client. Together, he's saying a very good thing, but don't forget the targeted clients and the taste and preference. Together, because clients will go for taste and preference. If that's their taste, fine. If they are no taste, don't do it, because nobody will buy it. And when nobody buys, you will not get revenue. And you don't get revenue, business collapsed the other day. Okay, fine. Yes, gentleman.
They say to start a business is to risk, right? So from the example that you used, is it okay to risk that type? Because maybe the market has not identified the problem. Can you try and create a problem and solve it?
That's the question. Okay, thanks you so much. In business, we talk about risking, which is true, but sometimes we don't risk on unrealistic goals together. But I want to answer you. You have friends. Can you remind your name? Yeah?
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse, you have a very good thinking front, yeah? You want to start that kind of a business channel, eh? Your friends and relatives, right, Jesse? Why don't you take that business concept, put into practice, ask your friends, relatives, and friends what they say about it? Yeah? If they give you a positive feedback, because some of them may be genuine with you, together. If that business gap will exist, then it's good to implement it into practice, together. First, you do a physical study. What do people say about this product that I have? And mostly always use friends, relatives, and friends and relatives, and maybe people in your locality, together. If they speak well about the product, because the product was non-existing, it's well to implement it, together. But if they have they are not like into it too much, do another physical study into other different area. Maybe that was not their preference and taste, together. But if you find the majority are onto it, is something unique for them, well and good, go and implement it, because that one you have created a niche. First you have observed the niche, then you have determined the gap in the market. Now you implement that market to close by solving the problem of that targeted clients who has that taste and preference. Now the last question before I sit down. Yes. Or you have a question? Okay, there will be two. Ama mtu ako na burning one. Okay, so it will be the last one. Yeah, uko na burning one. Unless if the host will allow me. I take 4. Okay, so I'll take then. Okay, fine.
My question is, like we've said, business is taking risk, and sometimes business fail. Yeah. So at what stage in a business will I be able to know that it's failing, or at what stage will I know that it's not working, but I can push on?
Okay, thank you so much. Business always fails, not sometimes. Business always fails, not sometimes. It always fails. It always fails. You go back, re-strategize, and come back again, right together. But the most important thing that I always advise people is always on representation on finances. Right together. Representation on finances. And I was explaining back there when I talking about injection and output. I know sometimes clients will not be there. Right together. But not every day client will be there. Not every day client will not be there. But if you have a specialized product, you put a right strategy, implement it, find the niche, together, solve the problem, get the right clients, together. Wezi uza koti where there are females, together. You have to determine your right targeted clients, together. The conducive business, together. Another thing, you cannot set your business where there are 10 businesses that set quotes, together. That will be ruthless, competitive market, together. You must have a place to breathe, together. So the most important thing is always the balance of injection and output, together. What do you inject, together? If you make a profit, don't forget a profit. Because leo unaweza uza, after 2 days you miss customers. You will squander the profit that you got, together. Because let's ask ourselves a very genuine question. Where do always people make losses? You start a business with, let's say, 300,000. After 2 months is off. Where did this money go to? No, where did this money go to? Disappear to? Yes. Yeah, I know, maybe you're sure.
Maybe there was some calculations to, for example, I'm a photographer, and they identify an area in another area, but because of the county government licenses and that.
Yeah, so that is what I'm talking about, representation. A business must have a representation in terms of finances, injection and output, because mostly we always eat the profits, forgetting that one was also part of the business, together. Before you eat the profit, make sure the purchasing marked price is already retained in business. Before uende sherehe, make sure that you don't use the business, together, the initial capital of the business, together. And also you have catered for miscellaneous activities, other output overhead expenses, together. So after you have realized that these one are the money of the business, I've made this problem, I've solved the miscellaneous activity, auxiliary services, logistics and the rest, now I remain with this profit. You can say, now this profit, 50% of it I'm going to save. 20% naenda kupiga sherehe. That one is now you are allowed at that moment, because the business has retained its capitation, together. There is no capitation which is lagging, together. So she's not here. You asked the question. Okay, we can go. Nathan. Yes.
Habari zenu. Umezungumzia a number of things in business ecology. But now, I would like us to evaluate some areas, like the business niche, and also we talk about the financing. As an entrepreneur, nimefanya research, nimepata ka niche, that specific business that I want to do. But when I come to decide for financing, napata the business that I want to do, I cannot afford it. So the affordability of the idea. Na pia, I would like to know how much should someone invest in research to determine that these are viable business before actually taking a leap of faith, like I want now to take my money into this business.
Thank you so much. I have understood your question quite well. I always advise people, rather than take a research, take a physical study and a questionnaire. People will give you immediate feedback. Research can take what is a research? Research when you want to take what did somebody do in Kampala? Who does it in Tanzania? Who does it in US? Right together. You will not get a focal point. Right together. Rather, take a questionnaire people around you. Right together. People around you will give you immediate foresight and immediate feedback about what you are doing. Right together. Take a physical study in that particular area that you want to venture your business. Right together. Another thing you talk about finances. You want to start a business. Can you start a business that you can sustain at that moment in life? When I was talking, I said in business we don't live our dream today. We are not in Dubai. In Dubai they live their dream today. Together. But in business or entrepreneurship, we don't live our dream today. We live our dream consistently, with determination, with consistency. We will fail. We jump again, we fail. We look where we went wrong, we strategize again, we put implementation together, we try again together. So you start a business that you can sustain. The funds that you have that particular moment, you can sustain. Continuously, as you forge ahead, making profit, you reinvest the profit into the business together. At a given moment in life, it will sprung. It will be a business which can sustain itself, even if you are not there. Together. So there's a level of entrepreneurship. Together. We start, we move. Together. There are businesses that if you are not there, it's not working. Together. There are businesses that you can go somewhere, it's working. That's the difference. So everyone aspires to reach a level of entrepreneurship where you can go anywhere, but the business are working, meaning you have enough resources, you have employed people, expertise, which can run for you the business together. So most entrepreneurship always starts as a sole together. That it moves, and then reach a bridge there where the business can sustain itself together. But even before you go reach that level, business that you start, you must start with the finances that can sustain itself at that particular level, because business will grow with the right trajectory together. Don't say you want to start a business with 1 million if you don't have it. Start with what you have together, and sustainability. That's the most important thing. Can you sustain the finances that you have? Can you sustain it together? But also you look other avenues that you can get grants together. Let me tell you, if you have a good idea that can solve a problem, you will get grants together. Only that nowadays somebody can start an idea. But if you approach the right people, you can get grants and implement your dreams together. Yeah. We have done it before. There's a lot of innovative ideas that we have sold to corporates and everything. It works, I can tell you. Together, if you have an idea that solves problems to people, because everyone wants to solve their problems together. Yeah. Then the last question before we sit there. Yes.
I want to be very brief. There is a brother who asked whether you can create chaos in the society and come up with a solution. I want to say like this. Scientists do that. They do that. They create problems and they find solution for it. But do that when you are very sure that you can not leave the society with the problems. In business, I want to say that let us just find the honest way of starting, running business and earn from it. I think that is the smart way we can do. I'm talking in line of faith. I wanted to ask a teacher this. This is a wonderful program. You want to become an entrepreneur, you have to go down, do your survey or research, see where your passion lies, and you want to progress and do what we call passion profit from it. When do you begin to plan and strategize? And at what point would you say that you have achieved the objective of this business? And also, as you do that, help us understand the difference between a business plan, and strategy. Strategic plan. It's very good because you are not going to run away from business today. You will be in existence. As I sit down, I also want to say this. This week I've been doing research on something, on governance and also social change. I realized something, that Karl Marx, in his conflict theory, states that the very many social conflicts or problems in the society is as a result of scarce resources, inequalities, and societal failing structures. I also realized that as an entrepreneur, I'm thinking of something. I was doing research on something. I realized that, okay, society tuko na problem. What can I do? You can think from that point of view and start a fresh business that nobody has ever thought of, because there are problems in the society, and become their solution. So you'll be building it. Ikifika kwa what we now call a brand, people don't ask you where, they know where to get it, because of your quality, because of your price, because of your location, and your attention to the client. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think this is the last question. Before I answer your question, in entrepreneurship, we talk about reality, not theory. It is a reality that we are going to face on daily basis. We don't base it on theories. That is when you get lost. When you talk about theories, we fantasize. When you fantasize, we want to live our dreams today, together. Then we won't succeed. So let's always, in entrepreneurship, it's about reality. You chase the clients. Have you ever seen how the insurance guys chase the clients? It's about the reality. Together, it's about the reality, what is in there. Together. So what I will tackle, I don't know, but I'll just try to tackle about the business plan and business strategy. Together. Okay, in my understanding, I've done a lot of policy papers. We have a business strategy, the implementation of what you want to do in the business plans. Together. So business plan will talk about the places you want to set these things, the finances, and everything. But when you talk about the strategy, what are the steps that you are going to use to implement the plan that you have? You see its flaws. You must have a plan, then you must have a strategy. So you have a plan, then a plan helps you to start a strategy together. So you strategize the plan that you have together. You want to go to town. Together, you must, maybe from your area, you must take a border. You go to a stage, you take something and together. So a strategy is a navigating together. But the plan is the vision together. Vision of the plan of the business or whatever, or the project that you want to undertake together. It includes the models of that business, the finances, everything together, the certification and everything. But when we talk about the strategy, now there are the steps that you're going to maneuver to reach that particular plan and the goal of the business. Together. Then before I forget, just before I sit down, there's something that you nearly forgot that I wanted to say. There's something that you asked, the last one. Yes, sir?
When you say that your goal is now met.
Oh, now at what point, now do you say now my business is now has seen light? Let me put it in layman's language. At the point that you can see that the business has seen light, that is a layman, is when the business is sustainable. The expenses, the profit outweighs. Okay, when you start a business, all of them are at equilibrium, right together. So when you start the business now, you feel that the business is at a stability is when the expenses are low. Expenses and liabilities cannot outweigh the output together. Or in other terms, the injections are not more compared to the output. Right together. What you get is more compared to what you use as expense.
Thank you so much. Just a quick one. I think we have exhausted most of the questions and probably the aspects we were intending to speak about in the afternoon as far as entrepreneurship is concerned. One thing to note, red alerts. You ask something, I hope you are well answered. When the business has not broken even, and it has taken a long period of time to do so, that is a red alert. In other words, you are not capable of making normal profits. That is, you injected the capital into your business, but what the profits that you have made are not capable of paying off the expenses, and that takes quite a long time. Then that is a red light in business. We call that point breaking even. At that point, probably you are making normal profits. If you go beyond that, then you talk about abnormal profit. When you reach that point, you have to be very, very careful as well, because when there is darkness, you are sure there is going to be what? Light. But when there is light, be prepared for what? For darkness. In business, you expect moments of recession, depreciation. So such kind of eventualities do happen in what? In business. So you have to be prepared for any eventuality. Then another aspect that you have to be very, very keen on, as I introduce the next speaker, to just walk us through briefly on the presentation before we break for lunch. Before you venture into any, allow me use the word viable, because I'm assuming you have done all the necessary research and carry out, as the speaker has spoken, in terms of doing having a questionnaire and trying to get to know what you are venturing into. Is it going to work for you or not going to work for you? So before you do that, remember the business plan is that meticulous statement of rationale of what? Of what you intend to get into. Now, but you are describing the what? The future in process. That's what you call a business plan. Strategic plan is basically now outlining what you expect to basically achieve within a given duration of what? Of time, as far as your business is concerned. As a person venturing into business, you have to really get to know who are you yourself, as far as your risk appetite is concerned. Three things. You are someone who is not willing to take the risk. You are a low risk what? Taker. You are a moderate risk taker, or you are a high risk taker. Most people, like in gambling, are high risk takers, of which if you are venturing in business for the first time, then that is an area probably you may not venture in. But our religion, our faith does not allow that. So when you are doing business probably for the first time, business will fail. At times they will also boom. We have tried, we have tested, we have succeeded, we have also failed. But failure is just to open up your eyes for you to really get to know where did you go wrong and what next do you need to do better when you do what? When you stand again. You got that? So, Tay, welcome and probably introduce the presentation. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. You know, while people are hungry, for them to get information a little bit tricky. So I'll try to just introduce the topic, then after the break we'll come and proceed. So from the show of hands, how many people would love to do a business or start a business? Okay. Everybody? Yeah, so there's my friend here who asked us a question. I think he has moved out. How much you need for the research to start a business? Yeah, it's you. It's here. So you don't need a huge amount for the research to start a business. And that's what I want to make sure that I take you through this afternoon. So there's something called BMC, and the main reason why I happen to work on a PowerPoint presentation, so you can be able to go through it and at least understand. So BMC is in full is business model canvas. Sometimes we do start business because our friends are doing business, or maybe your friends wanakuchocha, but then if you start this, we'll support you. And that's where we go wrong. The moment that umesikia your friend are saying we'll support you, sometimes Polycarp will tell you, Robert, do travel with us. But anytime you see him in our travel, he has to pay. Hata kama ni rafiki yangu. So he has to pay the whole amount. So people do start business basically because so-and-so is doing business. And I think so-and-so is making money, so I can as well start. That's where people get it wrong. Business comes out from you. It comes out from your passion. A passion is something that you will do, whether you are getting something out of it or not. You will find somebody's, we are using a case scenario of Ben, yeah, of Clothline. So Ben is doing Clothline, is making something out of it. I also want to start it at this point. Maybe this is just in Ben, it's a passion. This is something you always dream of every day when you wake up. Anadhani, leo ninunue gani, akienda pale. So we'll talk of BMC, Business Model Canvas. It has components that will help you to at least understand when you want to start your business. There are like about 9 components. I'll just be mentioning them so that we have a skeleton. Then later on in the afternoon, you can come and fix the flesh. So it'll give me less than 10 minutes as we do. Okay. So business model canvas is a nyuma kidogo. Is a framework that helps business align to its activity. Yeah. So when you want to do each and every business, no matter what kind of business you want to engage in, bora isikuwe ya ukora, ikuwe something that will help you generate something. So the components are as follows. Number 1, the key resources. Just proceed. The customer segment. Thank you. The value of proposition, channels, customer relation, revenue stream, key activities, key resources, key partnership, and cost structure. I believe while we go through all these segments, we'll be able to answer your question. You don't need to look for money to give somebody to work on your research that I want to start this and this. When we tackle about key resources, it will tell you what you are supposed to do. When you go about channels, the medium, how you want to sell your product, and so on and so forth. When you talk about the key partners, for instance, if it's photography, like my friend here, when your name? Ernest. Yeah, like Ernest. Maybe you want to start photography. Maybe you don't have your camera. You will need to hire it out from someone. That's where partnership in falls. So when we come back after a short break, then we'll be able to go through all the components of a business model canvas. Thank you.